All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with one of my students, Ray. Ray, say hi.
Hi, guys.
So we're going to do a little strokes game for dummies video today. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Ray, you ready for this?
I'm the dummy. Let's go.
Let's go do this thing. All right, Ray, guess what we got here? We got a beast. We got 600, I think it was like 610-yard par 5. So let's go through strokes gain and how we're going to use it right here. All right, so strokes gain, let's say that the average tour player from 620 yards, let's say they're averaging 5.4 strokes. So we're going to go off that basis. I'm going to hit a drive, then we're going to see how many strokes off the tee I gained. All right, let me hit one. I like that tree stump out there. Aiming at the tree stump, and we'll try to cut it off of that. Or just dead straight, but it works. It's perfect. Now, go. All right, so that's pretty much as good as I can hit it. Let's go see how many strokes I gained off that, guys. All right, Ray, so it's, how far is the hole again? It was, so let's say it's 620. We said it was going to be 5.4 strokes for the average tour player to complete this hole. If we can find my drive here on the camera, there's my drive. So I hit that, what do you think we got in, Ray? Roughly like 310, 300? Okay. Something like that. So let's say it's 300 yards into the hole, right? So now we got to figure out how many strokes does an average tour player take from 300 yards, right? And let's just, for argument's sake, let's say it's 4. Okay. Right? Even though it's probably different, guys. We obviously don't know, but let's just say it's 4 for argument's sake. So that's right. 5.4 minus 4 is 1.4.
Minus 1.
Minus 1 for the stroke that you just took. Right. So then what does that come out to be, Ray?
0.4.
0.4. So I gained 0.4 strokes on that tee shot.
To the field. To
the field, right? So let's go hit this second shot, and we're going to take that same basis and see how many strokes I'm going to gain for this approach shot. All right, let's go do it.
Perfect.
You're the best, Ray.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, so I got a decision. I got 300 yards out, wind slightly into uphill. I can either hit a 3-wood down there and get pretty far down there and have a little pitch shot in, or I can lay up a little bit, right? This is where strokes gain can really kind of help me. So if I get down there within 40 yards, the average tour player's probably going to take roughly around 2.4 strokes to finish from there, correct? So then what we would do is, because I gained, let's say, what was it? How many strokes did I gain on the tee shot?
0.4. 300?
No, it's 4, right? So it takes 4 strokes from 300 yards to get into the hole. So what we now do is 4 minus 1.4 and then minus 1 again, and that's how many strokes you're going to gain, basically, right?
Correct.
So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more aggressive and see if it helps or hurts me. So we got 3-wood. I'm going to try to hit kind of a straight ball to, if anything, maybe a little draw. And then get it down there, hopefully, pretty close to the hole. So I hit a straight ball. It should be okay. Yeah, it's fine. You guys are going to see that here in a sec, but we'll see how many strokes I gain there. All right, guys, so I got roughly right around, let's call this 60 yards to the hole. Now, the issue is we're now in the rough, so our lie has changed, right? So that means the average strokes to get into the hole from here is going to change as well. So let's say I just hit it from 300 yards, right? So let's say, since we got 50 yards, let's say from the rough on average, it takes a tour player 2.4 strokes to get up and down. So what we got to do now is, how many strokes does it take on average for a tour player to get up and down from 300 yards? That's 4. So 4 minus 2.6 equals what, Ray?
1.4.
1.6. No, 1.6. Ray's the camera guy, not the math guy. So 1.6 minus 1 equals what, Ray?
0.6.
So I gained plus 0.6 so far, right, on that actual shot, on that approach shot. So now we have to get it, let's say we have our 2.4 strokes now. Let's see how close I hit it to the hole, and then we're going to talk about the last approach shot, strokes gain, and talk as well. So let me go hit one. All right, guys, I'm nervous. Camera's watching. People in the fairway. Don't F this up, Mike. Come on. Hit it close. Get some strokes gain. Oh, I effed it up. Sit. Come back. Come back. Oh, that's going to leave a devilish putt. But we're going to talk about that here in a sec. Let's go do it. Okay, so as you can see, not the best wedge shot. I left myself a really tough putt, actually, probably around 30 feet, let's call it 30 feet just to make it simple from the fringe, right? So now we're in the fringe. How many strokes on average does the tour player get up and down from here, right? How many strokes does it take them to get? Let's say it takes roughly around 2.1 strokes. So now what we got to do is we got to do the math. So from wherever we were before, that was 2.4 minus 2.1 is 0.03, correct? Now if I minus 1 from that, now I've lost 0.07, like 0.7 of a stroke off that approach shot, correct? So now, overall, we'll do the math here in a sec, but I actually am not gaining as much strokes because of that approach shot. So let's go see if I can go make this putt and gain a bunch of strokes. But guys, this is looking like 3-putt territory, but let's see what we got. See if I can impress you guys on camera. Look how far left I'm aiming at this one, guys. This is a tough putt. Actually, should probably aim up here. Watch it, guys. No, I hit it too far. You know, that was close. I've seen people putt this off the green. Let's quickly do the math here. We got a group behind us, so I'm just gonna tap in. All right, Ray, so let's just finish up that last hole. I know I had to pick up just because there's people on the golf or on that hole, right? So let's just talk about what we did. So that last shot was from roughly around 30 feet, correct? So the average tour player from that type of putt off the fringe, let's say they're taking, what do we say, 2.2 strokes. Now I hit it to roughly right around, let's say 8 feet, right? And the tour average is roughly let's say 2 strokes to make it easy, right? So 2.2 minus 2 is 0.2, minus 1 is I've lost 0.8 of a stroke, right? So far I've lost 0.8 of a stroke on that last little putt. I lost 0.7 of a stroke on that little pitch shot from 50 yards, right? So then you start adding those up. Now, let's say the next putt I did make it, correct? So let's say on average it takes 2 strokes and I made 1, so 2 minus 0 is how they do it. Minus 1, that means I gained roughly right around a stroke on that, right? So that's pretty much a basic hole on how to use strokes gain. If you guys are confused, just leave a comment below and we'll answer it as well. It's time for you, Ray. You ready to be the star?
Yeah, but
right.
I can't play the pro averages.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. All right, Ray. So we know you're a 13 handicapper, right? You're not a tour player.
That's true.
So we can't use tour benchmarks for you, correct?
I hope not.
Now, is there anywhere out there that we could find benchmarks for a 13 handicap, do you think? Track by shot linking millions and millions of 13 handicapper shots. Do you think that's out there? Do you think someone put the money into that?
Yes, I do.
Well, we'd be incorrect at this point. No one has it yet, even though there might be some money in it.
You could always wish, right?
You could always wish, right?
I could wish to be 11 handicap.
So what can we do for a player like you, Ray? What do you think we're going to talk about right now?
Club selection for this hole.
Sure, we can talk about that, but let's stay with the strokes gain talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about benchmarks, right? So since we don't have benchmarks, right, which is what I was just using in that last example, we got to start creating a few for you, correct?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how we're going to do that, Ray. Let's see you hit a tee shot first. All right, it's a tremendous drive. 360-yard hole. He's somewhere, where'd the ball go? Where's the ball? It's somewhere around there. Right, you just hit that like 320.
Right.
That's impressive. Might have been my golf ball. But anyways, all right, so there's a couple ways we can go about this, right? So the first way is we can kind of make up numbers, right? Which we kind of did a little bit in that last section. So we could say this is a par 4, 340 yards. Let's say your handicap level is averaging score of 4.9 on this, correct? Or let's make it 5 to make it easy math, right?
We love easy math.
Yeah, so we got 5. Let's say average score is 5 on this. Now you just hit a 300 booming 40-yard drive. It gets longer as the day goes along, right? As you tell your buddies.
That's right.
So you just hit a 340-yard drive out there. You got roughly around 30 yards to the hole, or maybe even a little bit less. Let's say 20. How many strokes on average does it take for a handicap level of your skill to get up and in from there? Let's say it's 3.
Okay.
So 5 minus 3 is 2. Minus 1 is a whole stroke, right? So that's one way you guys could do that. Does that make sense how we did that?
Right.
But you're making up scores. Does that make sense? So it's not as accurate as you would with the tour benchmark, right?
Correct.
So we'll talk on the next hole another way to do it. All right, Ray?
Perfect.
You ready to hit this in the hole?
In the hole.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Ray, you ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay, so last hole, right, we kind of did that little mock, you're making up numbers, right? That's not the most accurate. So strokes gain obviously was made to base yourself off the field. But what you could do is you could make yourself the field. You care to explain?
That makes sense to me. I have a database of what I normally hit shots, so I can, if it's going to take me 2.1 to get that distance, if I can beat that, I'm ahead.
So let's just say for this hole, this is a par 5, we're going to play it like you've already databased these shots.
Okay.
We'll obviously show you guys how. I think it's pretty obvious to figure out how, right?
Right.
But yeah, we're going to play this hole like you already databased the shots, and we're going to see your strokes gain on this par 5. You ready?
Right. Ready to go.
Let's go do it. All right, so 470-yard par 5. We know that because we databased all your shots. On a 470-yard par 5, your average score is right around 5.4, okay?
On a good day.
On a good day.
Okay.
So keeping that in mind, let's see you hit this drive, and then we're going to go from there.
Okay.
Oh, not your best.
Not my best at all.
Where'd it go?
10 feet to the left.
10 feet to the left?
No, it's a couple hundred yards out.
All right, let's go take a look. All right, Ray. So
Okay.
that's your best drive, right?
Not my best drive.
So we got, I don't know, the sun will block it out, but we got roughly, what would you say here, Ray? Probably like 380 to the pin?
Good guess.
Yeah, so not his best drive, right? So average score on a par 5 of this length is 5.4. 380, let's say you averagely take roughly around 4.4 to make it easy math to get to that hole, right? So 5.4 minus 4.4 is what? 1. Minus another 1 is 0. So you didn't gain any strokes, you didn't lose any strokes.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, all right, let's go see you hit this next one. We'll do the same thing. All right, Ray, pretty good approach shot, or recovery shot. Well, that's not really a recovery shot. Pretty good second shot to a par 5,
Can't
right?
complain about that.
All right, so now we got roughly right around, let's call that, what do you think? It's a front pin, right? So let's say it's roughly around 160 to that flag.
Okay.
So now, based off the last hole, right? So from 380, your average is 4.4. Let's say now from 180 yards, or no, 160 yards, excuse me, as that plane goes, what's the math here? What do you think? What do you average score from 160? Let's say 3.2.
Okay.
So that's 1 point.
Doubt?
Yeah, exactly. Benefit of the doubt, right? So that's 4.4 minus 3.2, excuse me, yeah. And that equals 1.2 minus 1 for the stroke he just took.
Right.
And that's gaining 0.2 of a stroke. It's a good job. You just gained 0.2 of a stroke.
Yeah, but I lost 2 back.
No, you were level
Push.
on the last one.
Okay,
It's a
so-
push. You're up 0.2 so far. Let's go
Very
see
good.
you hit this shot into the green, and we'll go from there. All right, Ray. How's that?
I hit the ball. It's a
Hit
good
the
day.
ball?
It's a good day.
All right, let's go find it, and then we're going to go finish up the strokes gained for that next shot. You ready?
Yes, I am. Let's go.
You sure?
Come on, come on.
Come on, let's go. Ray's getting all impatient. Were you happy to? What happened with your car? And there is Ray's golf ball. Ray, not horrible, right? You left yourself pretty much pin high, maybe a little short of pin high.
Yes.
A little bit out to the right. Not bad, right?
I'm here.
All right, let's do the math. So how far do you think from there is to there? Let's say that's what? Less than 40, probably like 30 yards?
Yeah.
Maybe a little less. Let's say 30 yards to make it easy, right? So on average from 30 yards, from the rough, guys, because remember the lie is super important. From the rough, your average from 30 yards, let's say, is roughly right around
2.4.
2.4. Okay. So last one was 3.2 minus 2.4 is what, Ray?
0.8.
0.8, correct?
Minus 1.
So you lost what?
0.2.
0.2 of a stroke, correct? With that approach shot.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. And to be honest, I think 2.4 might be a little bit
On the low side.
Yeah, but anyways, but let's just say that's the case, right? So you lost a stroke, you lost a little bit of a stroke there, 0.2 of a stroke, not bad. Let's see you hit this shot and see if we can gain it back.
Okay.
Strokes gain? Yeah, I got you. So you're flying on the green, kind of mid to high trajectory almost.
Right.
Probably gonna land it somewhere right around like 1/4 way on or something like that. A little long.
Way long.
Firm greens. All right, let's go find your strokes gained out, Ray. You loving strokes gained yet? Is it revolutionizing your golf game? Just like they say it is?
You want an honest answer?
We'll talk about that. All right, guys, so we got Ray just hit not the best pitch shot, but you got roughly, let's call that 25 feet, right, to the hole. This ball's somewhere right around there. So 25 feet to the hole, Ray. How many strokes do you think on average it would take you to get down from here?
Right
Like
here.
2.1,
2.1.
right? So what was the last one? It was 2.2?
Correct.
So that's, do the math.
2.2 minus 2.1, 0.1 minus 1, lost 9.
Lost 0.9 of a stroke, almost a full stroke loss right there with that shot. All right, let's go see how you putt this thing out. See if we can gain some strokes back. Ready?
Okay.
All right, good hole out.
Thanks.
Thanks for editing, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So let's just say Ray hold that out just because we got to get going because there's a group in the fairway. So let's say you hold that out, right, Ray?
Okay.
So that's 0 technically, right? So that's
Give me
2.1 minus 0 is 2.1.
Minus 0 is 2.1.
Minus 1. So you gained 1.1 strokes there, right? So let's go. What's that?
Correct.
Yeah, so let's go take a look at your strokes gained total, then we're gonna go review it real quick about all the other strokes gained, and then we'll try to end this video off. You ready?
Go.
All right, Ray. So in review, strokes gained, right? Yeah. What are your thoughts now that you're a little bit more educated? What do you think about it?
Well, it's not as complicated as I thought. It's actually pretty logical, of course, but yeah, it's gonna bring out the weaknesses. The big problem is I'm gonna have to start keeping my own stats.
Yep.
Or I have to go with
buy an expensive app that somewhat does it, right?
Does databasing for my handicap.
Yeah.
And as soon as I change my handicap, I got to go dig up new data.
So now, is it a groundbreaking stat tracker for you as an 13 handicap golfer as of now? Probably not, right?
No, I know where my weaknesses are, just like everyone else. Driver, pitching, putting. The rest falls into place.
Absolutely. So for everyone out there, I guess the kind of the macro ideas behind this is if you guys are going to use strokes gained and you're going to try to create kind of your own benchmarks like we kind of talked about with Ray, you're going to have to go through a pretty long process. It's not going to be as accurate as the tour players' benchmarks because they're tracking millions of shots with a bunch of different players, right? So you can kind of get it accurate for yourself, but you're going to have to definitely do a lot of work. Any closing thoughts, Ray, on that?
I'm going to spend more time taking lessons than I am going to research data.
That's true, guys. All right, guys, so that was pretty much the Dummies strokes gain. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit more interactive, hopefully, instead of just listing off facts, which I've seen other videos do. So, all right, guys, if you guys haven't already, leave a comment below, smash that like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the video. All right, guys, best of luck, and I'll see you guys soon.
Dummy, thank you.
Yep.